Now for number 4. What are the zeros of f of x equals 4 sine squared x minus 3 on the interval 0 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 2 pi? Well, we're going to set 4 sine squared x minus 3 equal to 0 and solve. So we get 4 sine squared x, adding 3 to both sides equals 3. Now we'll divide both sides by 4 and we get 3/4. So now, using the square root property, sine x equals plus or minus the square root of 3 over the square root of 4, but the square root of 4 is 2. So our reference angle, since we've got sine of this angle equals root 3 over 2, is going to be pi over 3, but we've got plus or minus, so x equals the multiples of pi over 3 that, when evaluated with the sine function, give us plus or minus root 3 over 2, and they are pi over 3, 2 pi over 3, 4 pi over 3, and 5 pi over 3. Good. So for number 5, we're going to solve this. Cosine of theta equals negative sine of negative theta, and the interval 0 is less than or equal to theta, which is less than 2 pi. And so cosine of theta equals, and we can pull that negative out of there, and we get a negative times a negative sine of theta. So cosine of theta then, a negative times a negative is a positive, equals sine of theta. Dividing both sides by sine of theta, we get cosine of theta over sine of theta equals 1, so tangent of theta equals 1. And when we look at the circle, tangent of the reference angle is pi over 4, and tangent is positive in this quadrant, positive in that quadrant, so theta must equal pi over 4, and let's count them out. Pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4, here, 5 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, so 5 pi over 4, and we're done with that.